On today's show, it's all about generational investing. We're going to begin with the baby boomers, so grab yourself a brew and we'll begin right now. When it comes to determining the right investment strategy for you, the number one factor we like to look at is your age. As a general rule of thumb, the older you are, the less room you have in your portfolio for high risk. This makes a lot of sense. A poor investment as you're heading into retirement can have disastrous results on that retirement. So in this video, we're going to specifically look at the boomers. So the baby boomers were born between 1946 and 1964. The name actually came from the boom in births that happened after the soldiers returned from World War II in 1945. So today, or more specifically in 2022, they will range in age from 58 years old to 76 years old. So we have quite a wide range. A lot of the boomers are already retired, and the remainder are moving into those retirement ages. As a result, when it comes to investing, a huge focus will be on, retirement. So some of the factors that play into that, of course, are buffing up passive income, looking at the registered retirement savings plan, or maybe even the registered retirement income fund. And we're going to talk a little bit about that and why that number 71 is very relevant. So the best investment strategy, that's what we have to look at. Well, blue chip dividend stocks. We're looking for safety, and you can't get safer than a good blue chip stock. And the nice thing about the dividend stocks is you're going to get a return on investment. So you're going to have passive income. So for example, your banks. Banks are excellent blue chip dividend stocks, and recently they've all increased their dividends, and they're also looking at buying back stocks. So you're going to get some increased value in addition to some nicer dividends on them. Other really good dividend choices in stocks would be anybody from the aristocrat list, because these are companies that have shown and demonstrated that through good times and bad times, they're still increasing their dividends. So companies like Fortis or Canadian Utilities, just to name a couple, those are some really good stocks that have wonderful places within a blue chip dividend portfolio. Now, I do say minimal growth stocks. So what I mean by that is that the growth stocks that you do put into your portfolio, you're going to look at, once again, blue chips. So companies, for example, like Canadian Tire, or even Shopify. Shopify, I think, is a very safe bet nowadays as well. There's also a lot of good growth ETFs, like some of the Vanguard ones, which would be absolutely excellent within your portfolio. CNRs, Canadian National Railway, would be great. Beautiful thing about them is they also have a small amount of dividends too. So if you have a growth stock that has a tiny amount of dividends, it does help with the passive income. So that is not a bad thing. Now, of course, all of that passive income, the goal is basically to supplement your old age security, as well as your Canada pension plan, or if you're in Quebec, your Quebec pension plan. So you're trying to you want to maintain your life in retirement as close as possible to the way you lived it when you were working. And that's what this passive income can give you that opportunity to do. And depending on how early in your life you started investing, you could have a very comfortable retirement using passive income. And that, of course, takes us to our TFSA, tax-free savings account, our RRSP, registered retirement savings plan, and our RRIF, registered retirement income fund. So we'll start with the TFSA. So the TFSA is going to provide you with, tax-free passive income. This will not impact your GIS, so that's your guaranteed income supplement. Basically, anybody making less than $19,248,000 a year is provided an extra income stream to help them make ends meet. So if you're in that situation and you're investing, by putting it in your TFSA, it's not going to cause any kind of a clawback on that GIS. So that's kind of nice. It also will not impact your old age security. Now with old age security, once you're making more than $79,054, you kind of lose it. But the calculation to determine how much it is or how much it's going to pay out to you, that will not be impacted by any money that you have coming out of dividends off of your TFSA. So that's fantastic about the TFSA and its status as being completely tax-free. Now with the RRSP, so your Registered Retirement Savings Plan, you can continue to contribute into it all the way up to the end of the year where you turn 71. So up till December 31st of that year that you turn 71. Of course, after you turn 71 and you've passed December 31st, that RRSP gets converted into, well, an RRIF. So a Registered Retirement Income Fund. Once you do hit retirement, you can definitely use your contributions into your RRSP to help with your OAS calculation. So if you're still working, for example, you may have a bit more income and you may be paying a bit more taxes, and you may also not be getting as much OAS due to the calculations. So you can actually still contribute into that RRSP just to knock those numbers down so that the math works a little bit more in your favor. So that's kind of cool. Now when we get to the Registered Retirement Income Fund, that of course is converted from your RRSP, as we had mentioned before. So it must be converted by December 31st of your 71st year. You can convert it early if you do need to. That will, of course, be based on if there's an actual need for that income. Once the RRSP becomes a RRIF, there is a minimum withdrawal. And there's a series of calculations based on your age, how much you have to take out each year. So for that minimum withdrawal, there's no withholding tax on that. But if you decide you need more than the minimum, then they do hold a withholding tax. Now, keep in mind, a withholding tax, you do get that back when tax day hits. And this will continue to slowly empty out your RRIF. However, you can still invest within your RRIF and you can grow those investments. So if your investments are growing faster than the amount being pulled out of the RRIF by the minimum withdrawals, and initially that could very well be the case. During the human malware event, they had lowered the initial withdrawals, minimum withdrawals, to a little over 3%. So you could easily outgrow that with a good blue chip dividend portfolio, potentially prolong how long you're going to be receiving money out of your RIF. Just keep in mind that you want to make sure that you manage what happens to whatever money is remaining in your RRIF when you pass. You certainly want that to go into your estate or to your family. Another aspect to think about when you're a boomer is, what about crypto? Is crypto something that you should be having in your portfolio in your later years? It's interesting. One of the biggest issues with crypto is the volatility. It does make it into something I would deem to be a cautious investment. Pre-retirement boomers, so if you haven't yet retired, so if you're in the very early ages of the boomers, I would certainly say it would make sense to add a crypto position to your overall portfolio. You certainly don't want to go overboard with it. Maybe a 5% holdings would be adequate. If you are a retirement boomer, you definitely need to be more careful. It's going to really come down to your individual situation at that point. So if you're in retirement, but you do have really good passive income already, and you have more than you need to meet all of your needs, then definitely look at maybe funneling a little bit of money over into crypto. Now, here's the beautiful thing, though. This is all going to change when crypto does become less volatile. So as we get more institutional investment into crypto and things start to become less up and down, they're always going to be up and down. All investments are. But when they become more stable, then this would be something to definitely reevaluate in the future. Where should you host these investments? And what factors should take a role in that? One of the things I like to say when it comes to hosting your investments is you want to look at reducing commissions and service fees. they can add up, and when you're on a fixed income, you really do not want to be paying any more than you have to. So with Wealthsimple Trade or even National Bank, they are both commission free, so you can save a lot of money when it comes to investing. In addition, Wealthsimple is also free of service charges. Unfortunately, National Bank still has service charges, but that may be an option for you if you're trying to save money and sort of prevent all of that, all of those empty pockets, as that poor guy in the picture up there. So with good investing, eliminating fees, your retirement years should be booming. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more content like this, then definitely hit subscribe. And thank you once again for joining me in this video. I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.